It's 7:23 from Newstalk, WLOB, AM 1310. Streaming live at WLOBradio.com and WPME TV. I'm Ray Richardson. I hope you joined us last night for the Christmas concert on WPME TV, the Don Campbell Band Christmas show featuring special guest, the Maine Hysterical Society. It was a wonderful event. We had 250 people in the audience, and Santa was there, Dennis the Elf was there. All of these folks, by the way, are going to join us here at WPME and WLOB on Friday when we do our annual Christmas show. We'll have some music and some fun, and hope you'll join us. We're going to run TV from 6:30 to 9 on Friday, so you'll get to see all of it as well as hear it on WLOB. In the studio with us is State Representative Amy Volk from the coastal section of Scarborough. Good morning.
Good morning, Ray.
You look all Christmassy with your hat on. I love it. Oh, I love it. It looks great. You look like one of Santa's elves.
Oh, thank you. I am one of Santa's elves.
Have you been out and doing your, just very quickly, have you done your Christmas shopping?
Yeah.
In good shape?
Yeah. I did a lot of it in Augusta, actually.
In Augusta?
Yeah, because they have like strip malls, so you can easily take your stuff back to your car, and then you can go into the next store. You don't have to carry everything from store to store like you do at the mall. There
are a number of great strip malls.
Yeah.
I heard about that.
Yeah, it was nice.
One across from the Civic Center that has all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah.
There's a Red Robin up there. We like to go up and get a hamburger at Red Robin while we're shopping in Augusta, which is always fun. So you were you there last week during the hullabaloo over the testimony over the Department of Health and Human Services budget?
I did not attend any of the hearings.
Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah.
What did you hear from your colleagues?
Well, as you know, I work really closely with Representative Siraki from 128 in Scarborough, and they were actually surprised that there weren't more people there. And I was up there one day. I didn't attend the hearings, but we had a bill signing day, and so I went to that, and I was surprised how quiet it was, actually. So not quite the groundswell of opposition that the news media would have you believe.
Yeah, the media tried to play this out as though this was an overwhelming overrun of the Capitol, and
not at all.
It certainly was not like it was last year or the year before. Under Governor Baldacci, when 1,000 people showed up and were going crazy, and give me my stuff, as Ted Talbot says, give me my free stuff, as Ted Talbot says. I go back to what I've said for the entire 7+ years we've been on the air, and going back to what I said when I wrote my newspaper column for all those years. If you held hearings where working people could attend them, you would get a much different view. But what you do is the legislature holds hearings when it's very difficult for working people, particularly knowing that our incomes are low in the state of Maine. If someone has to take a day off from work, a day without pay, it's very hard for them to do. These other folks, however, they're not working. They're getting a government check.
Absolutely.
And so if they go to Augusta or they stay at home, either one of those days, it's pretty much the same. So I would love to see a way where some of these hearings on these big issues like this one could be addressed so that a Saturday hearing could be done or an evening hearing could be done, so that somebody could say, hey, look, I'm going to leave work at 4 so I can go to Augusta and make my voice heard. I don't know how you go about doing that, but I think that'd be a great service to the people of Maine.
Well, the governor has had his town hall meetings, and those are typically on Saturdays or in the evenings all over the state, and so he's definitely made an effort to be accessible to people, and I think it's been a bit of a surprise to him, actually, considering the news coverage, again, that he gets, that most of these are attended by people who are supporting a lot of his policies. It's not a lot of opposition. Because your typical person, like you said, who's working, who's paying taxes, sort of resents the fact that they know that there are a lot of other people who could also be contributing who are not contributing.
I think that's the thing that frustrates me the most.
Absolutely.
Is that the people that are out there advocating will not acknowledge that there are people receiving benefits who should not get them. We're not talking about the very vulnerable, the disabled, the incapable, the very young, or the very old.
No, we're not. And you know, Ray, it drives me crazy that these social service lobbyist groups like Maine People's Alliance,
I like the way you paused
they really do prey on people's fear. And it's cruel. Because I get emails. I got an email from a woman last week. You know, I work with some of these elderly people, and they are so scared that they're going to be tossed out into the streets. I mean, give me a break. Nobody's tossing Grandma out into the street. It's just not going to happen. We are trying to align ourselves with the averages of other states. Do you see Grandma out on the streets in other states?
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Of course not.
So, you know, you cross the border in New Hampshire, there aren't old people lying around in the streets.
That's right.
So we're just trying to put ourselves more in line. We cannot afford the system as has been set up and made.
It's the politics of fear and smear. Yeah. My good friend,
it's wrong.
And John, if you're listening right now, my good friend, former Speaker of the House, John Richardson, said when he was Speaker in the Bangor Daily News, I have it here, I could read the quote, but if we do not pass this budget, people will die. He was quoted in the Bangor Daily News saying that. And, you know, yeah, well, no, John's a good guy. He is. He's a good guy. And, you know, I know what he was doing. He felt the budget was important, so he over-dramatized it to try to get people motivated. But we're not talking about the people who really need the help. In fact, what these advocates should be saying is those of you that could be self-reliant who are not, who are getting benefits, are actually harming those who truly need them, because we're dedicating resources to those folks that could be going to the truly vulnerable.
Yeah.